Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the Manufacturer Series on GT Sport. This is round 2 of that championship from Sainte-Croix. This is race 2 in the GR4 car as we get ready for a start to this race. It's Stretch GT on pole position with the maximum ballast on 200 kilos. So let's see how he does with that one then. As Seek 1 in second place with 160 kilos on. Bidzster third on 120, and then it's Callum fourth on 80 kilos and Neil on 40 kilos in fifth. Then it's Techno in sixth, Rodders in seventh, Stacker eighth, Firepower ninth, and TY in 10th position after the disconnect last time. So let's get on with the race then as we wait for the lights to come on the little tree at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Go, 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 as my favourite commentator Murray Walker says, as we go down to the first corner then. Everyone away, front wheel drive, 350 horsepower in this car. Massive power, front wheel drive, this is going to be fun. As we go into the first corner, Rodders hits Neil, bang, have that. So all of a sudden the gloves are off as we go down towards the second corner then. Hurtling down, much faster than the first car. Seat 1 in the lead from Bidzster. Stretch, Callum, Neil is your top 5 into the left-hander. Bidzster looks up the inside of Seat 1 and there's contact. Seat 1 goes wide, Bidzster goes through. So Callum tries to take advantage straight through the middle of 2 cars and down into the next corner, goes wide. Stretch on the inside. Then Neil's coming round and Seat's coming around the outside as well. Now is Bidzster going to slow down and let Seat go, or is that going to have to be under investigation? I think it might be under investigation, we'll have to see. As we go down to the next corner then, Neil Farmack in the middle of the pack. Stretch looking at the inside of Seat 1 as Bidzster slowing down, so Bidzster is trying to let the cars through. So Bidzster, there he goes, he lets Seat back through, so good on him, he's let Seat back through. He was just waiting to the next few corners for it to clear probably, so he lets Seat go through and then he resumes the race. Neil Farmack tries to take advantage of the inside as well, says have that, so Bidzster obviously a bit too generous there. As Techno goes through, Rodders goes wide and eats gravel. Stacker says thank you very much. And then we've got TY in the back of them as well with no weight on board as well, remember. So it's Callum in the lead for Team Smirnoff. Seek 1 second for Team Leon. Neil third for Team Rabble. And then it's Team Takeaway in fourth, which is... Bidzster's off in the gravel! Too wide into the gravel, he's lost loads of speed there. That gravel really eats you up and he's going backwards here. He's got several cars passing him as we look at Techno passes Stretch, and then all these cars down here need to funnel down. Stacker on the inside of Rodders, TY behind him as well. Bidzster trying to catch up as well. Into the next corner we go. TY goes a bit wide, Bidzster tries to look for a way through. TY on the inside of Stacker then, no change near the front by the way, just so you know. TY on the inside of Stacker, Stacker goes a country mile wide. And Bidzster goes through as well, so Stacker leaving the door that far open, you could have practically opened it twice. As we go into the next corner, up to the bridge then, Stacker looks up the inside of Bidzster, no way through as TY runs a bit wide. So, up front then, Callum Paul Banks in the lead from Seat 1, Neil Farmack Techno, 2 Team Rabble cars, 3rd and 4th, Stretch in 5th. Down to the end of the bridge, to the little chicane here. Neil Farmack on the inside of Seat 1, gets the move done, can Techno follow him? So Neil Farmack, number 12, takes second place. Number 1, Seat 1, because he was champion last season overall in the WEC Replica Championship, so well done to him. He carries the number 1. So Techno in 4th. Number 7, as we go down to the next corner. Oh, Seat 1 hits the barrier, and Techno looking for a way through, and he goes through, because Seat 1's lost all that speed. So there's Rodders and TY and Bidzster further back as well. So Bidzster and TY wanted to try and make up positions from having a bit of a bad start to this race. TY's bad start came in from the result of the last race, and Bidzster's down the order because he went into the gravel on the first lap. So we'll just get a replay of those first lap incidents now. Okay, here's a replay on board with the start, on board with Callum then, to see what happened between Bidzster and Seek. So we're going down to the second corner, little kink here, then we've got the third corner here. Bidzster goes for the inside, brakes a couple of times just to try and get the car stopped and can't quite do it. Hits Seek, but then he does actually let him go later on. But look, Callum goes right through the middle here and threads the needle straight through and takes both positions. Well done to Callum. Here's a replay on board with Techno then, so let's watch around here. Watch Bidster's car, the orange and black one. Just puts the power on way too early and just can't quite get the car stopped and just runs really wide and then runs out of track. As we come back from that then, on to lap 2, out of 6. Callum goes around the first corner nicely in the lead. Neil right behind him, pressuring him all the way. Neil's really on form in this one. As Rodders goes wide and starts mowing the lawn, and TY goes through, and now it's his teammate behind him. The second of the team takeaway cars, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts this time, so different sponsor for them. As Rodders lets Bidzster go through, so obviously Rodders feeling that Bidzster's got a lot more pace than him, and lets him go through. And Bidzster looks up the inside of TY into the next corner up the inside. TY runs a bit wide, Bidzster goes through, so Bidzster textbook move, and he's left the door open for Rodders as well to have a go. So Rodders has a go at TY. Brave stuff, good to see Rodders getting stuck in there. So Rodders then into 7th place, well done to him. As we look at the leaders then, Neil Farmack's ahead of Callum. Neil Farmack and Callum side by side down towards the next corner. So wow, that's all been developing while we were watching further back. So yeah, while we were watching further back, obviously this has developed and it's brilliant. As Neil tries to go right around the outside of Callum. Callum not giving him an inch. Techno cheering his teammates on. As we go into the next corner, Neil getting rid of a bit of the penalty he's accumulated there. Stretch back in 4th, so the maximum ballast really hurts him in this one. 200 kilos, and then that proves it. Right over onto the grass. Seek and Bidzster go up the inside onto the straight. Bidzster doesn't run wide this time. Stretch and Seek do that as Bidzster goes through and then he goes in front and gets the draft off Seek. So Callum at the front then, so Techno and Neil very close together. As we look further back, there's Firepower and Stacker further back as we've got everyone trying to pass Seek. So Bidzster alongside Seek 1, Stretch getting involved, Rodders getting involved as well. Does he hit him? Oh, that was close. As Bidzster goes through past Seek 1, then Stretch looking to take advantage of Bidzster's move. Round the outside though, so Seek 1 defends the inside. Stretch can't get through on the outside. Can he do a switch back and get him out of the corner? He switches back to the inside. A switch back is where you go wide, a bit wider on purpose, turn in for a later apex to the corner, and then shoot it out the other side and try and gain advantage. But it didn't quite work out that time for Stretch, unfortunately. But we'll have to see how it goes on as Neil and Techno then side by side, the two Team Rabble cars battling amongst themselves. Techno wanted to get one up over his teammate, but that's not going to help Neil close up to Callum. They need to work together to close up to Callum, really. There's Bidzster in 4, Seek 1, Stretch, Rodders. So Stretch ahead of Rodders still. TY on the back of this group now. Stacker and Firepower actually not too far back, so all the group are holding each other up to a point. So Stacker and Firepower close up, but still not close enough to start making a move yet. So Neil Farmack goes through in 2nd with his teammate Techno behind. Bidzster's in 4th, Seek 1 5th. Rodders and Stretch having a nice little battle here. Rodders ahead of Stretch now. So Rodders passes Stretch into 6th place. TY looking to take advantage as well. So the weight really making its mark and affecting him. So Stretch goes right back down to 8th position as TY has a little look at Rodders just to try and have a cheeky little dive just to try and put him off his rhythm. Obviously the weight will affect different cars better than some, so obviously this car is obviously quite bad with the weight on, so as it depends through the season, because some cars are better with weight than others, but some cars carry it better. But Rodders goes off. Obviously he's got a bit of weight on his car, and he's got no weight on his car, sorry, from the last race, but still goes through in 8th position. He's gone back behind TY and Stretch. So Rodders making a few little errors there. As we go back towards the leaders then, Callum in the lead from Neil from Techno. So Neil and Techno still very close together. Callum fastest lap of the race, 25 dead. 3:25 dead. 3:25.9 for Neil, 3:25.1 for Techno. So obviously they're not helping each other out here, but now they're a bit more in line. They can try and focus on catching Callum. As Bidzster now going to try and focus on catching them as well. Seat 1's the car behind him. As we look at Stretch, the camera going funny, there we go. It's not very often that GT Sport camera does that, but TY looking to get past Rodders, or should I say Rodders trying to get past TY, because Rodders fell back. But Rodders tries to go past TY here. TY opened his connection last this race. And around the outside we go. Just about unable to hang on, so TY goes through for 7th. There's Neil Farmer in second with Techno behind, still the same gap roughly. So stretch the main battle on track at the minute. It's TY and Rodders, and we could always look back for Stacker and Firepower because they're still quite close on track. Team Leighton there for Stacker and Team Smirnoff for Firepower. And obviously their teammates near the front. Obviously Callum, Firepower's teammate at the front. And seat 1 in 5th, who is Stacker's teammate. So, oh, Bidzster off the road there. So Bidzster making a big mistake in that car. So Bidzster goes off, rejoins, but with Seek a lot closer. So going making more progress backwards than forwards. There's TY now trying to catch up to Stretch as Rodders tries to stick with him as they go up towards the bridge. Quite a technical corner, this bridge section, because if you go on board with Rodders here, you can see it goes uphill over the camber. There's a massive little bump there, and that can really make you go towards that wall on the right there, so we've got to be really careful of that. Let's look at Bidzster then with seat 1 behind him. Nicely through that corner there. Seat 1 trying to keep up with Bidzster here as he goes a bit more over the grass. Seat 1 in the background. But Neil is catching Callum. So Callum is being caught by Neil Farmack now. Callum being caught into the left-hander. As Callum goes wide, hits the wall, but so does Neil. Neil follows him, so if Neil didn't hit the wall there, he would have been a lot closer, but unfortunately followed Callum and did the exact same thing as Bidzster and Seek go through without any bother. Stretch, TY and Rodders, so TY ahead of Rodders still, trying to catch Stretch. TY a bit more outpaced in this one, I think. I think it's the actual pace that's TY's problem here. And Stacker still in 9th place, ahead of Firepower, so Firepower struggling a bit more with this car. And Stacker goes through in 9th ahead of him. So Callum in the lead. Neil, 3:23.2, 3:24.1 for Callum. So 9/10ths quicker, almost a second quicker that time, Neil. So Neil Farmack the faster car by far, and you can tell by how much the gap is closing. So Techno not able to keep with his teammate. He's still in the 25, in the low 25s, but at least he's keeping it consistent. Unlike his teammate who decides to trim that little bit of grass just to help him next time. But still trying to stick with Callum as we go and look back at Bidzster in 4. Let's have a look at the TY Rodders and Stretch battle. So Stretch still leading that in 6th place, 7th for TY, 8th for Rodders. But Rodders still staying on the back of TY here. He's not letting him go. So. Good effort by Rodders to keep one of the main guys in LPB racing, so one of the faster guys, so well done to Rodders, good pace. Seat 1 and Bidzster try and catch up, but they're still in the 25, so they're not really catching up on lap times. But Neil definitely is catching up on Callum, because he's look at the last lap was just mind-boggling compared to Callum's lap. So Neil definitely trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat here, and it looks like the magician is on it. As we go down to the next corner then, Bidzster still trying to catch up in 4th. He might have too much weight to try and catch up properly as Seat 1 goes through in 5th. Stretch obviously got a lot of weight on, he's really struggling down in 6th, but it's really strange how TY can't really capitalise on this, even though he's got no weight on board, but he might do now. I might have just eaten my own words, because the side-by-side down the straight, and I think he's passed him already. That's the power of having less weight. So Stretch just decides to get rid of a little bit of a penalty he's got anyway, just while he's at it. Might as well. And then try and catch up after this corner. But again, TY through, so TY into 6th place then, so underestimated him. But again, I think that was mainly to do with Stretch's weight. There's the weight on the car, not the weight on the driver. But as we go back with the leaders then, Callum in the lead still. There he is in the black car, the black Smirnoff car, and then behind him Neil Farmack in the Team Rabble car with his teammate Techno in 3rd, so it'll be a 2nd, 3rd at the minute if it finished like this, but I think Neil's hungry for a win here. Neil's very hungry for a win. As Techno goes through in 3rd, Bidzster in 4th, still not any closer. Seat 1 still sticking with Bidzster here, so gaps maintaining the same as TY gets a bad run out the chicane, and Stretch goes to look round the outside of him. There he is, there's Rodders behind. So Rodder's behind, looking, trying to catch up to make amends, but again can't quite get close enough. As Stretch loses out on the power with the weight on, then into the next corner. Both get a good line, but again TY will be quicker on the straight with less weight. Because on this game it really does affect the straight line speed, the weight, as it would in real life anyway. As we go down to the last corner. Stretch getting rid of a bit more penalty as Rodders. Oh, I thought we were looking for a way through there and just missed the back of his car as Stretch gets a brilliant run out that last corner. And TY goes to the outside, Stretch goes to the inside, but again TY will have the overspeed and maintains the position. So TY gets the acceleration and keeps the position as Stretch goes wide. And you don't leave the door open like that to someone in LPB Racing, because they'll be right in there, and Rodders takes 7th place back. Nice little scrap this. There's Callum and Neil then. 3:22 for Callum, he's responded. So Callum has responded to Neil's time. So whatever you can do, I can do better, obviously, is the ball game that Callum's playing. So Callum's showing Neil what he's made of. As Neil says, no, I'm made of more better stuff and I'm going to try and catch you. As Techno's just been left behind. He's done a 3:24.6, but it's still not fast enough to catch the leaders. Bidzster 3:26 last time round, so a mistake from him, and a 3:27 for Seek, so more mistakes from them too. As meanwhile, back with the little pack back here, Rodders ahead of Stretch now. So Rodders ahead of Stretch into 6th place, and as TY still tailing the end in 8th. Into the 90-degree left-hander, and Rodders has lost it into the gravel, and that's it. He's lost a chance of that battle now, unless they do the same. As TY looks to get on the inside of Stretch. After Stretch got, well, he must have got a bit alarmed at what Rodders did, and TY takes advantage. So now role reversed. It is TY in 6th, Stretch in 7th, and Rodders in 8th. So all change, please. So Rodders in 8th. So hopefully be able to pick up some more pace, but again it's going to be hard to close that gap down now, because that's a couple of second gap. So it's going to be hard to get that down in 1.5 laps remaining. Yes, it might be 1.5 laps, but it still takes 5 minutes to do, because it's a roughly 3.25 minutes, or roughly 3.5, just under 3.5 minutes a lap. Sorry. So Callum runs a bit wide there though. Neil closes up. Let's look back from Callum. You can see Neil closing. So Neil then definitely on the move here. So this could be a little last lap battle that's brewing. As Bidzster's catching Techno. So Techno's going backwards here. So that could be a little battle that could develop as well, as Seek 1 in 5th on his own. And then TY, Stretch and Rodders. So Stretch catching up to TY again, so not wanting to let him get away. And meanwhile at the back, Stacker and Firepower. Stacker in 9th. He's actually on the straight, you can still see the other guys, so hats off to him with a good decent pace. And Firepower's just on the start of the bridge now, so not too bad from them lot. As Neil then catching up to Callum. Really trying in that car. There's Techno then in 3rd. Bidzster 4th, so Techno being caught by Bidzster. As you can see, Bidzster's car much faster through that corner than Techno was. So the end of the penultimate lap ends, and on to the last lap we go to start the last lap here at Sainte-Croix. Across the line we go. Last lap. Callum in the lead. Will he be able to hold on to it? Could Neil get through for a win? We'll have to see. Into the first corner. Good line from both. Yeah, really good line from both. Both pushing hard. Techno and Bidzster then. Into the first corner. Techno with a little bit of a lock up. Bidzster clean as a whistle. So Bidzster obviously got his head down now and really trying to catch up. Seek 1 in 5th on his own. TY 6th at the start of the last lap. Stretch 7th, Rodders 8th. Rodders still could get those two if they make a big enough mistake. Stacker in 9th and Firepower in 10th, about to start his last lap now. So meanwhile back to the leaders then. So Callum not doing bad. Doing very well in fact, as he goes a little bit wide there, but just scrapes away with it by the skin of his teeth. So just about gets away with that as they go out of that next corner. Neil close, but again not close enough to make a challenge really, but he's close enough to be there if he makes a mistake. But since when does Callum ever make a mistake? Callum's the captain, consistent on this game. Consistent Callum, as we call him. As Neil in the background. Just waiting to try and spoil Callum's fun. Can't quite get close enough to do it as Bidzster's on the back of Techno then. Bidzster really catching up to the back of Techno. 3:23.4. So for Bidzster, even with a little bit of weight on, so not bad from Bidzster here. Good lap as he catches Techno up, who did a 3:27 last time round. So again, trouble for Techno. Bidzster closes, but meanwhile Neil's closing on Callum on the straight for the last time. Down to the little kink, hard on the brakes, down a gear. Let the car go in, catch it on the power, over the curb, bit of grass, down to the next hairpin, brake, down a second gear. Make sure you don't overturn the car or even overpower the car on the way out, because you'll understeer like hell. But both manage it brilliantly through there, up towards the bridge for the last time. We're just going to have a little look back at the battles back here. TY and Stretch on the straight, and then we've got Bidzster and Techno towards the bridge. Bidzster looking for a way through past Techno here. Will he look for a move? Not yet. Getting rid of a bit of a penalty as well. As Stretch and TY then. TY into the hairpin first, Stretch behind. Meanwhile, Callum and Neil then down to at the end of the bridge for the last time, into the chicane. Both sort of cut the track a bit there, so they might both receive a penalty there for that. So that could make the difference. But we go up towards, or up the hill, round the long, never-ending right-hander. When will it end? Nobody knows. As meanwhile, Techno and Bidzster find it out. Bidzster behind, and he's out up the inside. Is he alongside him? Yes, he is. There he is. There's Bidzster. They're side by side, these two cars. But let's just have a look at Callum and Neil. They're at that next corner, so they're down towards the finish line. Techno defends the inside from Bidzster. Bidzster goes around the outside of him. Oh, he hits the wall though. That's lost him time. That could have gifted third place to Techno. But meanwhile in the lead, it's a battle to the last corner. Callum versus Neil. But Callum's just about going to hold on to it for another win. Well done, Callum. Well done. He wins the race. Callum wins from Neil. Brilliant battle in the end between them two. Techno's going to hold off Bidzster because Bidzster made a little mistake on the second to last corner. So Techno's going to get a podium. Well done to Techno. An outright podium. Should be proud of yourself, mate. Well done. Bidzster in fourth. Seat one's going to come across the line for a very lonely fifth place, so we'll have to pour some water over him in the pits to wake him up. So fifth place for seat one. Stretch is going to be sixth, just ahead of TY. It's going to be close on the line, but Stretch is going to get rid of a penalty. TY gets sixth because Stretch had to get rid of a penalty. So TY sixth, Stretch seventh, Rodders eighth, Stacker in ninth, and Firepower brings up the rear in a lonely 10th place. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay, guys, here's the results from that end. So Callum wins that one. Well done to Callum after a good fight with Neil on that last lap. In second place for Neil. Third place for Techno. Then it is fourth for Bidzster. Fifth for Seek 1. TY in sixth. Stretch in seventh after carrying the maximum weight. Eighth for Rodders. 9th for Stacker and 10th for Firepower. Fastest lap of the race to Callum with a 3:22.8. So as we come back from that then, there is your winner in the black car, Callum Paul Banks. Well done to Callum. He wins the race in the Team Smirnoff car, number 99. And we'll see you guys next time for race 3. Take care, guys.